Welcome to GoB-TV, Guerrillas of Booze in the house. Doug.
Christian.
Frank.
Oh, and it feels so good to be home.
Yes, sir.
It feels like we haven't done this in a million years.
It's been
Long
way
time.
too long.
We took a little hiatus. I almost fucked up 3 seconds into the show and said hiatus, which would have been terrible.
We had a few beers already. But...
So we're back. We're back at it. So this is GoB-TV, Guerrillas of Booze TV Season 2 is underway now. So we're going to do a kind of a celebration for it. So we'll launch GoB-TV Season 2. Also, on the same day, we're going to launch our first ever GoB Radio, our podcast that we've been threatening you with the whole time.
There we go.
Be very easy to find. It's WGOB Network, just like the YouTube channel. So you can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, anywhere you like to listen to your podcast. The podcast will be there also, barring some sort of technical nightmare. So I guess off the top, we should talk about a couple of things. Obviously, a few changes. We have a nice little desktop here now. We can put stuff on, like glasses. We're not like reaching around everywhere. Reach around.
Reach around.
You had to go there.
A couple of things. So with the first series of episodes that we did, the number one not complaint, but the number one thing that everybody to a person talks about when I would show them the show or whatever is it's too long. It's too long. It's too long. Right? I think we would agree that it's too long. So the number one thing is we're going to try to pare these down. I heard that 58 minutes is apparently the sweet spot for asking somebody to sit in front of the YouTube thing. So our promise is that we're going to try to edit these down to under an hour, which means we're going to have to be a little bit more efficient. In an effort to be a little bit more efficient, we used to, in the beginning of these shows, do like kind of an educational thing without sounding like a dick by saying educational. So we kind of cut that part out. That part, if you enjoy that part, is now available as the podcast. So if you go to WGOB Network on iTunes and Stitcher and all that stuff, there's a series there called The Booze Tutor. It's a couple episodes deep right now, but it's a no frills, no thrills, just straight up educational. This is the style of beer. This is what it's about. And we go style by style by style until we run out, and then we'll go to other liquors.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
So,
good.
Chris, I am begging you. You can tell you've been away for a long time.
Yeah, I'm a little rusty. All right, it's better.
I'm begging you to get that mic.
My mic's not as high as yours. You're like
Things
five
have
inches taller than me,
that
but,
much, huh?
Not that much.
What do you mean? You don't talk out of the bridge of your nose? So I know what some of you were thinking. What happened to the rest of Christian? I don't know if anybody's ever seen the horrible Stephen King movie based on a very good book called Thinner. Something similar happened to Chris. He got into a fight with a gypsy. They put the curse on him, and he's no matter what he eats, he just keeps losing weight. So he's fading away to nothing.
I still drink beer. I just cut it back just a little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
By a little bit. It's like, by going to zero, that's apparently cutting back a little bit.
I can't.
Mr. Muscles. Yeah.
Can't eliminate the beer.
We're also we have another like a new feature, I guess, for lack of a better word, that we're gonna implement that we thought would be fun. If you watch Fox News at all, and I'm not suggesting you watch Fox News, I'm not promoting Fox News. I'm just using them as an example. Everyone relax. They have a show called Outnumbered, where they have like your 4 hosts, and then they have the one lucky guy every day. It's a different co-host and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna kind of pilfer that. By pilfer, I mean totally steal that idea, because sometimes our show worked best with 4 people. So we have we're calling the fourth chair. And basically what we're going to do with the fourth chair is every couple of episodes or so, we're going to have kind of guest people sit in with us and review stuff with us. Dope. We're already building a list, which I know includes a bartender. Is he a bartender?
He's a bartender.
A bartender,
and a beer enthusiast.
A bar, restaurant owner, a local musician. I forget. But we have a few people in the shoot already. Obviously, we're going to continue to build the list. So if you're watching and you're interested, slide into the DMs. No, I'm just kidding. No, but in all seriousness.
not mine.
In all seriousness, send us a message, either YouTube or Instagram or whatever, at Guerrillas of Booze, if you want to sit in the fourth chair for one of the shows. And, like I said, we're going to build up a list. So it probably won't be for the first couple episodes. But then, every now and again, not every episode, but every now and again, we'll have somebody sit in and try to get different people's takes on beer and liquor or both.
We should almost do like a contest, like a giveaway type thing where, somebody could win that seat in a way. We'll have to figure that out later, but
that's a good call too. I mean, as we go along, we could like, that's not a bad idea. That's kind of the housekeeping stuff out of the way. obviously we're going to pander to you at the end of the episode here, and we'll talk to you about all our social media and all this stuff and all that stuff going on and all that stuff and all that stuff. I want to see how many times I can say all that stuff. What's going on? Anybody got anything exciting happening in their lives besides Chris disappearing to nothing?
How about you, Frank? What do you got going on?
It's the summer, man. A lot of drinking, barbecues.
Yeah.
It's not the summer for much longer though.
I know it's toning down already, man. The weather's been shitty though, man. It's been raining like
Hasn't
crazy.
felt like the summer, yeah.
Yeah, right. When I was in Aruba looking at your weather back here, and I was like, I don't ever want to go back. Aruba's beautiful. It's a little windy and like 87 degrees every single day. It's tough to leave that to come back to the fucking tsunamis and monsoons you guys were having here.
Yeah. No
So Aruba doesn't have many IPAs. They're pretty much just lagers, right?
That's actually a fun. I wish I could say that we worked on that. That's an amazing transition. Because that brings me to a very good story. When we were in Aruba, here's what I learned about Aruba. Number one, everything there, most of their main beers is made by Balashi. That's the brewery there. They make Balashi, they make Chill, they make Hoppy Bond, Hoppy Stout. Pretty much all the stuff that you're going to drink on the island is made by Balashi. In an effort to take a break from that, we went out to find a place there called Bros and Beer, I think it's called. Bros and Beer. It was supposed to be like the big craft beer spot on the island, IPAs, the whole thing. We drove around. We finally found the place. Closed. And we're like, it's the middle of the day.
Right.
So we go into a restaurant that's right next door. It turns out the guy is like his best friend. And he's like, oh, yeah, he just closed shop like 2 weeks ago. Apparently, there is just no market for that stuff there. I assume. I mean, obviously, I don't know that. But I don't know.
That sucks.
So I guess people aren't, and it makes sense because in that climate, people aren't drinking your big hoppy bomb IPAs. Everybody likes that really. Even the stout, the hoppy stout, was really thin, really light. I actually enjoyed it, which is rare. So
they were probably like chugging down pilsners and lagers.
Oh, the pilsners and the hoppy bonds and the chills. Chill is like a better. I don't want to say Corona because it's much better than a Corona, but it's like a Sol. You ever had Sol? SOL?
Yeah.
It's like a better. It was delicious. The chills were amazing.
Did they have any sours down there? I would think with that climate, sours might do well.
You would think that because all their beers are made with the seawater. Obviously, they desalinize it, but it's all like the brewery sits like basically right on the sea, so it's all made with the seawater. So you would think that lends itself to a goza, but I didn't. Not that I saw. I mean, certainly not a native one to the island. I mean, there's stuff that they import in, but nothing native to the island that I saw as far as sours or gozas or anything like that. Here's one thing: the stool that I'm sitting on, because I like to do this move. Which number one, the mic stand is in the house. So I can't do this move now. But the arm thing is in a weird spot. I got to get used to the new setup here. That's all.
We all got to get used to it. We will. We'll adapt pretty quickly.
So then, I mean, with an effort to keep this trim, I guess we should drink, right? I mean, that's what we're here for. So we drink.
Man, that's the point of it.
So what we thought might be fun for our big return celebration is we went up to Treehouse and Trillium. So we thought we would look at those beers, and what we decided to do is split it into two. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands.
What do I do with my hands?
We thought we would split that into two shows. So basically, on this show, we're going to do the Treehouse stuff. On the podcast, we are going to look at Trillium. So we'll do Treehouse here as part one. We'll do Trillium part two as the podcast. So you can check out both or one or the other. If you don't give a shit about the video and you don't want to look at our beautiful smiling faces, then you can just listen to the podcast. So if you're a virgin to us, if by chance you're joining us for the first time tonight, we have a little bit of a structure that we like to follow. At least that's what we say, which is 4 beers, one from each of us and one for luck. And then we kind of put our heads together and try to decide which was our favorite beer of the night, I guess the winner of the night. And obviously, when there's 3 of us here, it's an odd number, so there's going to be a winner. It's not going to be a tie, I don't suspect, unless we all pick one, which
impossible.
is, I guess, well, it's not impossible. We could all pick one.
That's true.
And so best beer of the night, and then after that, we like to punish ourselves for enjoying beer.
My favorite part.
Our signature segment, which we call Bad Beer of the Night. Bad Beer of the Night is where we like to punish ourselves.
I can't fucking wait.
It's a viewer's favorite segment too to watch us suffer, I'm sure.
And basically, it's not to say that it's a bad beer or from a bad brewery or a beer was brewed the bad way or bad. It's just to say that it's a beer that's been stored improperly, kept improperly, light struck, held for too many years, all that stuff. So not taking a shot at anybody's brewery or anybody's beer or their brewing techniques. Just that we kept the beer too long, and that's what we do. We like to
Doug
punish
kept the
ourselves
beer too long.
Fuck yourself, Frank.
He tends to hold on to the beers the longest, I gotta say.
So that's not true.
All right, Doug.
Well, he has the most beers.
The longest of who? The entire world?
No, well, within the group.
Okay, that's true. So I guess we'll get started. So, like we said off the top, Treehouse beers. So we'll start. I'm gonna reach into the magic sack. Meh.
I wore the right shirt today too, huh?
Look at that.
Oh,
Treehouse
wow.
action.
Coincidentally, and we didn't plan that.
No?
Speaking of the red shirt,
Oh, look at that.
We'll
Can't
start-
even see it.
we'll start with Sap. Sap from Treehouse. It's a India Pale Ale, 7% alcohol by volume, in a 1-pint can, bright red can with a darker red tree, for those of you that don't have eyesight. From the can, it says, "We are excited that you are holding Treehouse Brewing Company's Chinook and Simcoe hop-filled American IPA Sap." Again, with an exclamation point, so it's Sap! Sap is a deceptively soft beer, brimming with distinctive notes of grapefruit, fantastic,
Your
mango,
favorite.
pine, and earthy spice. Waves of diverse flavor. It is perhaps our most complex IPA. You might be overselling that. It is the result of our uncompromising dedication to fresh, progressive, delightful beer. We hope you enjoy it with laughter, good cheer, and in the company of those you love. Unfortunately, I'll be having this with Frank and Chris. So,
So harsh, so harsh.
So
I mean, I
mean.
like you, but, I think love might be too strong.
So mean.
Oh,
You know, a brewery like this is hard for them to outdo themselves. They make so many good beers. It's just, how do you outdo the prior beer?
somewhere watching right now is a stout lover that's like, oh, they don't make so many good beers. Fuck those guys.
That's right.
Good point.
That is true. Go pour them right to the bottom of the lettering there. Right, the GoB-TV lettering.
That's a good call. Actually, I didn't even use that as a gauge. That's a good call. That's a good way to say who's shallow pouring, Frank.
Oh, look at that. See, look at that. That's amazing. That's exactly one can.
It's because we planned it that way.
Perfect.
We didn't plan it that way.
And Frank got the bottom of the can this time.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear
That's
any
right.
complaining.
I don't want to
from
be.
that.
I don't want to be the one getting the bottom of the can all the time.
I
Frank's
got
gonna
the
have
schmegma in the bottom of the can.
the beer with a different color to it.
So right off the top, it's orangey, light orangey. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for here, but I'm just gonna keep saying orangey over and over again.
Or about like
know
just a lemon squeezed.
You know that orange,
Entirely
that
into
orange aid drink? That
You're a
orange aid?
motherfucker, Chris. Get out of my head. I was gonna say the same thing. When I was younger,
Is
they
it Orangina?
used to buy Orangina,
Orange aid.
and it would shake. Oh, Orangeade. I was thinking of
Orangeade.
Orangina, so you weren't actually in my head.
There
So
you go.
I'm sorry that I called you a motherfucker.
You motherfucker.
I was thinking of Orangina. It was in the shaped like an orange with a little top and the blue bottom. You had to shake it.
Oh,
It looks exactly like that.
that's the girl version of the orange aid.
Oh, well, there you go. It's the head was white.
Was white. Good point.
Yeah.
That dissipated. Quickly.
Dissipated quick,
Yeah.
not super quick. I've had Treehouse beers that dissipate, like Eureka, for instance, dissipates quicker than that. But it dissipated fairly quickly. But bright white head. There was about a finger of it.
Not much lacing.
Not much. It is there.
So
Not much.
What's the date on this beer, by the way?
Let me ask you a question. Why are you
Why are
obsessed
you
with
so
touching my
obsessive?
cans?
7/3/2018.
Fairly fresh.
Sufficiently sapped. So something to mention. The bottom of every can has a little message on it. That's something Treehouse does.
What's that one? Sufficiently sapped? I
Sufficiently
don't know that
sapped.
this is even.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Jeez, I tell you.
Chris, what do you smell?
Everything imaginable. I smell everything you can in a beer.
For those of you that are newbies and
Nothing.
aren't aware of this, Chris only has 4 senses, as he does not have the sense of smell. Or at least that's what he says.
I definitely don't. I mean, sometimes it's good. You know, if I'm in a subway and people stink, I'm good. Everyone else suffers, I'm all
What are you
right.
trying to say, Chris?
Well, you know.
People stink on more than just the subway, Chris. I got news for you.
Absolutely.
Well, it smells piney for sure. It doesn't smell like your standard Treehouse IPA when you think of Treehouse IPAs.
And
Yeah,
that-
it's definitely small piney.
That is one of the adjectives on the can.
Lemon.
Is it?
Lemon is not. Pine is on
Definitely.
It's funny. You know what I don't smell, which I'm not unhappy about,
The
is
grapefruit?
there. How about mango?
I do smell a little grapefruit,
A
though.
little bit of mango. A little bit of mango. I don't really smell grapefruit, though, which does not bother me.
Wow, Chris, how do you smell that? That's kind of...
I'm just reading. the
He's
can.
reading off the
Oh.
can. He just really likes being a part of things.
I almost thought that was intentional, Frank. I gave you too much credit. All right, let's get a little taste here.
Definitely piney.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's the first thing that hits you too is the pine. It's almost like
like a West Coast IPA.
Exactly.
almost.
It's almost like Treehouse's version of a West Coast IPA. It reminds me more of a West Coast IPA than you would think of as the New England style Treehouse.
You believe
Hazy.
you believe this is close to like a Pliny? I don't think so.
No. Pliny is far more hop aggressive than this is.
Yeah.
This is easier to drink.
But this is like definitely like a piney, hoppy, West of
Yeah.
West of not going to work here anymore. I don't know.
We did have some piney beer. I can't think of. I can't think
Pliny
of
the
what's
Elder?
in it.
Pliny the
Well,
Elder.
that's one of the top beers in the world. We had that, but I don't think this is on the same level. This is hopped down quite a bit from that. I like it too.
As we're babbling on, did we even say? Okay, so piney. I do get more grapefruit in the taste than I did in the smell, so it's there for sure. Unfortunately,
Grapefruit.
I get more mango in the aftertaste than I do in the front. Like, so the back end of the sip is mango-y for me. I don't know what they mean by earthy spice, because
I don't get it.
that could be
I
fucking
don't get it.
anything. I feel like I swear too much. Do
Yeah,
I
you
swear
swear.
too much?
Does it matter?
I mean, once you drink more, it
We're all
kinda
adults
happens,
here,
but-
no?
You know, it's
I'm trying to
funny,
be more
though.
proper. They say profanity is for somebody who doesn't have the words to say what they're really feeling, right? So
Oh man.
You know what I find amusing?
fuck
though?
that. No, I'm just-
Yeah, right. The just different types of hops now. Like, there's all these crazy names for hops. Like, experimental hops. What I mean, it's something new every week.
YNH2 or
Like
something.
what? Like what is it?
All these codes now, like it's getting crazy.
I
But you
know.
know what? I'm okay with that. You know. Oh, I can't even do that. You
Oh,
know what? I have a
Frank.
big fucking problem right now with that.
The mic's in the
Because
way.
You better-
I'm gonna smack my camera to my face.
Frank, you're gonna get hammered.
Oh, this is gonna be bad.
This is
Are we
great.
still
This
carrying
is not
over?
bad at all. This
Oh,
is
we're
wonderful.
carrying over into the slosh talk.
This is
buddy. What's gonna
wonderful.
happen?
This
So
is
that's
not
one
good.
for Frank.
It's a done
We should just
deal.
keep the score right here on the thing.
Gives
Chalk
me an
line?
advantage. I'm so slow with that, so it gives me a big advantage.
Oh
here.
shit,
Excellent, excellent.
we're rambling.
So good. I know it's so good. I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Grapefruit,
Great
mango.
mango.
earthy spice. We were talking about.
We're talking about the weird hops that all these different.
Oh, the hops
nowadays.
Yeah, and there's the period hops.
Period out.
Didn't you say something about period hops or something?
I did. Yeah, I don't know why'd that come up.
Oh, you know where the grapefruit
knows?
is? On this one, burp a little bit. You'll get that.
No, I can get it without having to.
Well,
burp.
he
Yeah,
did
that's
already,
right.
and you didn't get your hand up. So
Oh, well, you're
That's
right.
right. So I would say this is, I don't know, fresh, maybe progressive. It's certainly delightful. No, I'm reading it right from the can. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's
As-
actually a pretty
as-
good beer.
Yeah, as
And I'm
like,
not crazy about like piney beers, you know what I mean?
I'm not either, but-
Actually, this is pretty good.
it's a weird thing. I used to be like when I think of IPAs when I was a kid. When I got into IPAs, it was like the pininess I used to love. Now I've been ruined by the New England stuff.
Now-
As a kid, how long have you been drinking out there?
It's always on Guerrillas of Booze. Finish your booze.
Oh,
The dogs always last. What happened?
Are we rating these?
Of course, we're right. What do you mean?
now,
Just asking.
plug. What was the alcohol volume here?
You know what's funny is that somehow this has been the longest lasting thing across all of our shows where he calls me the wrong fucking name. And I appreciate that you're sticking with it. Did you pick up on that? He just called me
What?
Plug.
Yeah,
Because he's called me like drug and vlog and blah, blah, blah.
He
I
didn't
have
even
not
notice.
picked that up.
See? Unbelievable.
It's very subtle. It's very good. I appreciate that.
All right.
You fucking dick. The mouthfeel was soft too. I don't know if anybody picked up on that.
Mhm.
Anyway,
A little chalky now.
Agreed.
yeah, there's a
Get
little
that?
something going on
A
in the
little
back.
chalky at the end there.
What's our favorite type of IPA? Would you say?
Do we answer that as a group, or are you saying
We're gonna
individually?
shout,
What it,
everybody shout it at the same
Everybody
time.
say it.
we
same
all
time.
like New England style IPAs, right?
I like
My-
New England.
Could you say what is your favorite IPA? What's your favorite
Your
IPA?
style. Your
My
favorite style.
favorite, like,
Oh, favorite style.
we're talking
favorite
about
style.
style.
We're talking about styles.
Because if we go by IPA, we go by beer.
No, your style.
It's too many.
I mean, I guess it would have to be the New England style IPA, and I feel like a loser saying that because everybody loves those, right? I've often described myself as a self-hating IPA guy, so the New England style.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my
that's-
favorite.
Although I
too.
mean, I enjoy a good West Coast style IPA too, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm starting to go crazy now with sours as well. So it's kind
Well,
of
that's just what I was gonna
yeah.
say is that I'm starting to move into like I'm
Sours
into
and
the gozes and
gozes
the,
and
and the
stuff, you know,
sours
so-
and the like the real fruited beers like from Burley Oak, their dreams and that kind
man,
of
that's delicious.
stuff.
We'll see if you're drinking
Ooh,
those.
I got him.
Nah, I don't know
Got
about
him.
that. We're gonna
No,
have to go
yeah.
to the camera. We'll have to go to the camera. on
Yeah,
that.
we'll go to the camera.
We'll pause it.
I don't know if you're drinking those sours in the wintertime, but you know.
So, Guy, with your red shirt on, you wanna start the rating since you and the can dressed alike. What'd you call each other?
Well, what is now? Are we gonna talk about Doppel Chris or?
No, because we know what Double Chris is gonna give it.
All right, so I give it what Doppel Chris gives it. I hate to say it. It's a 4 for me. Good beer. I think it's accurate with all the ingredients. I think it does taste like everything it says, for the most part. Solid beer, easy to drink for a piney beer.
I'm gonna follow with a 4 actually. No, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4. I really do like it actually. It's as far as this style of beer, it's tough to say a West Coast because it's not a West Coast IPA, but it's piney like a West Coast IPA. I actually enjoy it. It's a nice break from some of the other IPAs that we'll drink from Treehouse as we go along here.
Yep.
So 4.
Agreed.
Is this going to be like a unanimous decision here?
No, you can do whatever you want, Frank.
I don't want to piggyback off of anybody.
That's not what I heard.
Zing! But I think I'm going to have to actually stick with a 4 as well.
Wow.
This is the first time I believe this has ever happened. Where we actually all pick the same fucking
4's
rating.
across the board.
Well, because he never picks the same rating. He's like, I can't. He's like OCD.
He tries to change it. Yeah. But honestly, it's actually a 4 to me in my head.
So that's Sap India Pale Ale from Treehouse Brewing. A 4 across the board. Can't be mad at it.
Beautiful.
I didn't even have to look to know that you were just rubbing your own shirt.
Well, I was trying to show the Treehouse.
Is he piercing? He was touching his nipples there.
I wasn't.
So as we move along, I'm going to reach into the magic sack here.
What's going on down there?
Oh, Chris, sorry about that. Let me move over to the side here.
It's like Christmas morning. I mean, it's like pulling a present out. You don't know what you're going to get.
You know what else? Who doesn't know anything, Chris? Is our entire audience, because I'm begging you to get on that microphone.
Good point. Good point.
Get on it, Chris.
Oh, boy.
Look at the shade on that one.
So our second beer of the night is we'll get into it. It's green.
Christmas color.
Both the can and the beer. Yeah, again, it's an India Pale Ale, 7.5% alcohol by volume, 1 pint can, green can with a darker green logo. Get some condensation off of here.
Yeah, they really do make a beautiful label and a beautiful beer, obviously.
Absolutely.
See, all the cans start the same way. We are excited that you're holding Treehouse Brewing Company's Galaxy Hop-Filled American IPA. Green. Green is a massively juicy beer filled with distinctive notes of pineapple, orange sorbet, and tangerine. Let me stop right here, okay?
Orange sorbet.
You don't list grapefruit on this can, and I'm telling you this thing is grapefruit because I don't like it. Sorry. It makes no apologies as it coats the palate with intense hop goodness. It is the result of our uncompromising dedication to fresh, progressive, delightful beer. We hope that you enjoy it with laughter, good cheer, and in the company of those you love. Unfortunately, I'll be having this with Frank and Chris. No, I know. I already said that.
There we go.
How many times you say?
Every time, Chris.
Is there a recorder?
Every time. You know what should be fun?
It's like clockwork.
This is a green can, and we're sitting in front of a green screen.
Oh.
So this should work out well.
Yeah.
It's gonna disappear.
Actually, no, this would be all right because I'll put it directly in front of your shirt.
You'll see the white. Yeah, right. You want to see the white lettering on it. That's about it. It'll be like a ghost can. See if we can replicate this perfect pour. Yeah, right on the money. Beautiful.
Either I don't know what a grapefruit smells like, or this smells like. Or I don't know.
Or you don't know what it tastes like. I don't know. Well, we don't know that yet, but what? So the orange sorbet, was that something?
Orange sorbet.
That's interesting. I'd like to see if I could taste that. I love orange sorbet.
Right there, buddy. Place that on the center there.
Yeah, we'll center this in front of Chris, so maybe the screen won't pick it up.
Red shirt.
You know, both old Chris and Doppel Chris were about 3 times your size, so for sure the can would get lost in front of you. Now I'm not so sure.
Now, it dissipated pretty quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, about as quick as the sap, I guess.
Yeah, they're pretty
close.
similar. Yep.
It was a whitehead, one finger, barely one finger, dissipated fairly quickly. Lacing's a little bit better than the sap.
Lacing's definitely better, yeah. No question.
Color is
very creamy, isn't it? It's like a...
Yeah, it's like a creaminess. I mean, like a creamy look.
So sap was more orange, yellowish.
This looks like they squeezed the grapefruit, which
comes
back to why you feel like you smell it, right?
This looks more pulpish, like more pulp, if you saw more pulp in a beer.
Yeah, it looks almost like a fresh squeezed orange juice, like at a diner.
Yep.
Like when they have those machines.
Agreed.
See, now I'm not smelling grapefruit. I've always shied away from green because I feel like it's just grapefruit. But now I don't know if the can fucked me up, and I'm like, oh, there's no green. There's no grapefruit in here.
I didn't get that. I've never gotten it was like big on grapefruit.
Well, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, that can only had a couple things. This mentions pineapple, grapefruit, tangerine, orange sorbet. I mean, it's a lot of different flavors.
I gotta be honest. I wouldn't know what a tangerine smelled like if you squeezed it in front of my face. I would be like, what is that? An orange?
It's a smaller version of an orange.
I know what a tangerine is. Does it smell any differently than an orange?
It smells like a small orange.
You're asking the wrong guy.
That's true. That's a good point.
It's like a clementine.
You know, my favorite thing that's ever happened is that's not true. The favorite thing that's ever happened, but in the context of the show, is you said it's a shame, Chris. You're Italian. You don't even know what a meatball smells like. Oh, I know what a meatball smells like. How would you know that, Chris? He was like,
I mean, I know how to taste.
yeah.
He's been lying to us.
I meant taste. See, this is what happens when you have about 25 beers in 3 hours. You can't even think straight.
Interesting.
25.
Well, not. I mean,
Your math skills also messed up.
I meant in the past, not necessarily tonight.
So what do you smell? Smell juiciness. It's juicy.
Yeah,
it's
you
pineapple. A little citrusy, tropical.
Smell some orange.
There's almost a little bit of like breadiness. You know what I don't get is like a piney hoppiness. I mean, obviously the stuff is the aroma is produced from the hops, but like there's not like a piney hoppiness.
Get some breadiness in there as well.
I know it's weird. There is a little bit of breadiness, which I mean, I don't think they like. I don't think of Treehouse as malty beers.
You know, I know they don't.
No.
They don't have it in this, but do you smell like lactose? Do you get any lactose?
Yeah,
in
maybe
there?
that's what I'm smelling. Actually, you know what lactose? No, I know it's not in there. But Chris is down 2.
Again.
Damn it! It has almost a lactose look. I know there's no lactose in it.
That's what I was going by the look, not the smell. FYI. But
Now, I don't mean to point this out, but like, I know I got the last bit, but you see how much whiter?
Yeah, yours
Yeah.
is definitely
Than-
like
than
murkier
everybody
than
else's.
ours. I mean,
Yeah.
they're
Bottom
all
of the
hazy
can.
and murky,
I
but
saw that earlier. I was going to say
thank the Lord it wasn't me for once.
That's okay. You know what?
Because we're actually pouring them correctly now.
All right,
which is
can I
amazing.
try this now? Because
Yeah,
I'm actually
by all
very
means.
thirsty.
Are we allowed to?
That is delicious.
That is.
How can you hate on this?
I
one?
just don't get it. I mean, everybody loves this beer.
You know what's crazy though? I like this beer so much better than Sap. I know it's a different. There's
I don't even
different
know if I
ingredients.
like this beer better than Sap.
I do. I mean, everyone's got
Really?
I don't know what my problem is. I don't love this beer. I want to.
You know the problem? They release this beer when they release Julius a lot. So it's like, obviously you're gonna like Julius so much more than this beer.
I do like Julius so much more. I like many Treehouse beers much more than this one.
But when this one always releases, seems like the same time, you're always just gonna rank it second and have a bad feeling about it.
You don't feel that's grapefruity, right?
No, actually, I don't now.
No.
And, you know, there's people that argue that their recipe or their whatever what they produce isn't the same since they moved to their new facility. I don't think my palate is trained enough to be able to tell the difference because I think they're all delicious anyway.
Yeah, and it's been too long a while. I haven't had green, so I can't even be honest.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, the last couple of times that I've gotten green, and frankly, I've given them away or traded them away. I haven't even had them, so it's been a long time since I've had green.
I don't know. You know what would be good? We should bring that other can into picture, you know, so we can see what we've been drinking, huh?
Look at you, Frank. Frank with the big ideas.
Good point, Frank.
Olympic style.
Olympic style. It's like
There we go.
like a pedestal, gold medal, silver medal.
Yeah, and I guess whichever one we like the best, we can put on there, right?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
center
I
stage.
think Chris said something like that earlier. So.
Great idea. That's not necessarily how we have it ranked right now. We're just, you know.
Oh, I can assure you that's not how we have it ranked. Right?
For me and Chris, of course.
I've always liked green. For me, it was, I don't know. It was a good beer. Wasn't their best, but very good. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's
I get bitterness, a little bit of tropical. I certainly don't get orange sorbet because I love orange sorbet. I
don't
could see
get-
pineapple a little bit,
See a shit like a lot of lemon.
lemon,
You know?
some like rind, a little bit of lemon rind.
you know, but you do get that in a sorbet. If you have that dessert at like an Italian restaurant, you get that grindy kind of, you know, bitter taste with the Italian ice.
Well, I wouldn't know because I'm not Italian.
But that kind of does make sense. But this has to be orangey for that to make sense.
You know what, Chris? You're orangey.
All right, I'm red. I'm actually red. Could wear an orange shirt next time.
You're huge.
Huge
Um,
Donald Trump.
I don't get really breadiness in this one like we did with Sap. Oh, okay. I guess we're just finishing them then.
No, I'm just really thirsty. Don't go by me.
Once again, for the record, I'm not last.
You know what I got at that last one? A lot of bitterness.
Yeah,
Me too,
I
actually.
You know?
I agree.
Maybe it's because it was sitting here because you ramble.
And you had the last of the pour. Keep in
It's
mind. too.
well, that too. I guess we're gonna have to gauge it differently from each other.
You want to start since it's your since you love it. You know what else is gonna be great? I don't want a little inside baseball because there is a green screen behind us. So now whatever happens on the green screen is gonna happen actually in a little lens right on your shirt there too.
Guess what? That's why I put the microphone right where it's at.
Frank with
see?
2 good ideas today.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. What do you think?
Oh,
it's a 5. Okay, great. Chris, what do you
know-
think? Oh, it's a 5.
You know what? Given that I say I like this one more than Sap, I'm going to actually rate it the same, though. I'm going to leave it at 4. It's a solid beer.
Well, by definition, that's not better than SAP.
Let's put it at 5.4001.
Can't go 5.0.
4.001. Let's
Right,
give that a 4.001 then.
I got to break
It's
this.
just slightly better to me. I'm not sure it's like any higher than a 4, though.
I got to break this trend. I can't let this keep going. Because this is like Doppel Chris right here. I go 3.75 because I've had it so many times. It's a good beer. I like Sap better, though, personally. Sap is a Pioneer beer, but it's a very easy to drink piney beer, so I kind of like that a little better.
Apparently, I'm rubbing off on Chris, and not the way that he's used to.
Hey.
Because
Jeez.
I also like SAP better, and I am going 3.5. It's a 3.5 for me for green. I'm sorry to all the green fanboys, including the 2 guys to my left or my right. I don't know what's over to my left.
To their left.
Jesus.
Jesus.
What am I, drunk?
Jesus.
I mean, it's okay. I like it. Listen, I would certainly not turn it away if it was given to me. I'm a little bit irritated that every single time I go to Treehouse, green is one of the beers. But I guess there's worse problems I could have, right? So
would you say we drank this Treehouse beer more than any other?
I have had green more than any other tree.
volume?
Julius is close, but I've had green almost more than any other Treehouse beer.
Yeah.
I have had to buy green every trip we've gone.
So that might be part of the problem.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But I still like it. It's a solid beer for
You're
me.
part of the problem, Chris.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Drug.
So moving on,
Moving on.
we're going to reach back into Chris's magic sack.
Oh, there's always good stuff in there.
That sounds weird.
Super weird.
What do we got here?
That's his leg, Doug.
Oh my God, his sack is falling off the table.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
it's so large it just falls right
Well,
off.
this
the
is
table.
white. This couldn't have possibly come out of Chris's sack.
Ew.
So next up,
getting
I don't
weird.
even know what that means. Next up, we have Pride and Purpose. Pride and Purpose is Treehouse's American Pale Ale. It's a 1-pint can, 5.1% alcohol by volume, brewed in Massachusetts. It's Charlton, Massachusetts, by the Treehouse Brewing Company, just like every other one. Silver can with just the white sticker.
Yep, that's a new
So-
beer.
Right. I don't think it's new, but I think it's just the beers that they're not really committing to their full lineup yet. Because if you look at like Lights On, I think has its own can now, and what was the other one?
Have you seen this release before?
Pride and Purpose? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've had it
you
before
know,
we
it's
went.
just-
Yeah.
I've never
No
seen it.
description on
Up
this
until
can
this.
either at all.
I know. There's no long story I can tell you.
Well, the
what
difference is it's a label. It's not
Right.
embedded into the can.
You know, you can't say drink this with people you love. And,
Well, I was gonna say it's gonna start. It's absolutely gonna start with. We are excited that you are holding Treehouse Brewing Company's
Right.
whatever hops are in it, American Pale Ale, Pride and Purpose with an exclamation point.
Oh,
Frank, 2 and 2.
this is gonna be brutal.
Is anybody gonna
Oh.
burp but me? Because now I'm starting to feel a little self-conscious.
Get a piece of
Anyway,
chalk here.
so with that, I tend to like American Pale Ale, so I'm excited about this one. Anybody want to start the pour? Here, why don't you start the pour?
yeah,
I feel
why don't
bad
we
that I
mix it
started
up?
every time.
Mix it up. This is a lower percentage, but it's a pale ale, so that kind of makes sense. Right to the lettering there. Which way should I go with it?
Go this way.
No,
Go
no,
this
go
way.
to
Go
front.
this way.
I'll go
Go
last.
this way. Go this way.
That way I can get the schmegma part. Of the can.
Schmegma.
Magma.
Yeah, what do you call it? The Morgan Freeman effect.
Morgan Freeman
Woof.
Freckles. Oh man,
Woof.
you can tell we had a few. This is not our first beer of the night, obviously.
I don't know. This can feels light.
As you can see.
That's some good head right there, man.
Look at this. Look how they do me, people.
Oh jeez.
Look how they do me.
Oof.
I'll just keep shaking it. Maybe I'll get enough in there.
that's my fault. I'm halfway up the lettering here. I'm looking at it.
Look at this. See how they treat me? Everybody sees this, right?
The ham hock hands here.
Pride and Purpose, American Pale Ale.
Now this one had about a finger worth of head,
Yeah, a little
which
more
is
head
actually
here.
sticking around a little longer than your guys. I don't know
I
why.
was going to say, that is not my experience. I had no head in the beer.
You're pouring it too softly into your glass.
Maybe.
Is it me or it looks exactly like green?
Lacing is similar. I mean, look at the lacing.
Mine
I mean,
does not look like. This is a funny.
hue.
This is interesting. your beers look like Chris and my beers green. My beer looks like your version of green, which is to say,
Yeah.
it is
Oh,
that's
full
why
of
it's-
like.
Yeah. Morgan Freeman Freckles.
No, not even that.
I
It's
don't
just
see the
cloudy and like lactosey and like
Yeah.
creamy looking.
It is lactose looking.
So you definitely got the murky end of the fucking beer.
I know. Well, that's what happens. So I guess it's that end pour, right? Because this shit is like a bog, like a fruit bog.
We just can't get it right. It's crazy. Somebody always gets that murky pour, no matter what we do.
Well, guess who's up to get the last pour next time, Chris?
Ding, ding, ding.
Fair enough.
Oh, it smells delicious, though. I got to tell you.
It smells like straight fruits.
It does.
Yeah,
A lot of orange.
Smells like everything.
I literally forget every single time that he can't smell. So when he smells, I'm like, yeah. Oh.
He does. He forgets every time.
Even get some mango in there.
Oh, it's definitely fruity, juicy.
Be nice if we could compare it to something on the label, but
Are you used to getting that much smell off a pale ale? I don't think so, right?
Well, no, the American Pale Ale. It's weird. It's skewing more and more towards the IPA, in my opinion.
I think it's usually
Especially
a
from
very
like
light scent, and you don't really get that.
Especially from a craft brewery, you find that they're skewing closer and closer.
No, I'm sorry. You always have that lower ABV, no matter what, with a pale ale. Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of
what did we say
some funkiness for a pale ale. No,
5 point something. Yeah.
So it's a session,
Right.
basically.
Right.
you get that it's a little more funky for like a pale ale, really
I would say more dank than funky, if there's a difference between those words.
Right.
Yeah, I would say dank. It's a little dank. Dank.
dank.
I just like saying dank.
Dank.
So.
We do drink a lot of dank beers.
But definitely mango. You said it's definitely mango.
Orange. For once, I don't get lemon.
Yeah, I don't get lemon, which is refreshing. I don't really even get grapefruit, which always makes me happy.
Do you get orange sorbet?
No sorbet. No sorbet with this.
No sorbet. He wouldn't know sorbet anyway, but
Listen, I thought I liked sorbet. Maybe I like sherbet. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's
Sherbet.
different. Yeah.
Which is like what? American sorbet?
Sorbet is the actual fruit they put it in. So the full lemon, they'll put the Italian ice in it. You've never had that?
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. No, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had that.
I was just
honestly.
trying to educate you.
I must have had that.
I never had a childhood.
I've never been to a Renaissance fair.
I actually went and smelled the fucking microphone right now.
What does this smell like? My breath.
Jesus, what was that I ate last?
Jeez, I tell you. Lightweights over here, lightweights. Let's get a sip here.
Tastes nothing like it smells.
It tastes nothing like it smells.
I'm getting very light.
Yeah, it's a light taste.
Light fruit flavor. I'm not getting.
Yeah.
Right. It's like all the flavors that you smell just washed out.
Yeah, it died down, and even the mouthfeel went away. It's like
Very
it's
thin.
like I did not drink the beer.
Yeah.
Mouthfeel's thin. Yeah, and there's nothing left in my mouth.
Right.
I guess that's what you call a pale ale. No, it's just a very light.
Yeah, it's a very light taste to it too. Very subtle taste. It dissipates.
It's subtle.
It dissipates almost immediately. You're right.
This is true definition of like a session.
Yeah, that is a very light, a little bit bitter. I'm getting a little bit of bitterness, like
At
in
the
the
back
back
end,
like
that's it.
back here. I mean, it's fruity, but it's not. It's like literally, it's like unripened fruit. Like the flavors aren't really there.
That's a good call.
Yeah. It's true to what it is though, compared to the other two, where we kind of have a lot of disagreements.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that. You kind of you expect that from a pale ale or a session.
You know what I was just thinking of as I look over here? Are you sitting lower than the other two of them?
I don't have great posture. I'm trying to figure out this
Great
micro.
posture.
Damn it, Frank.
You're down 3-2, by the way.
This is a losing call.
I'm trying to figure out the best microwave microphone situation. 3-3.
3-3, tied up. Damn it! I'm so good. I'm on top of my game. You can't get me in the burp game that Zane Lamprey came up with.
You're forcing those burps too. It's not fair.
I wasn't even
ready for it.
Well, you can force it. I think the rule was it has to be audible.
Why do you two burp so much?
Because you punk pitch, when you were on the couch, you'd be like, and nobody even knew what happened.
But the burps don't come to me like.
The problem is that you also had like a gallon of water.
I did, yeah. I do drink a lot of water.
A gallon of water,
parched.
3 protein drinks.
I do. That's why I got to use the bathroom.
Powdered peanut butter.
I got to run up.
You're using the bathroom right now. I can see it. We can all see it.
Why are you pissing on your pants?
It's cool to pee your pants.
You don't see the bowl down here that Chris is pissing in currently. All right. Anyway, please. I'm begging you to stay on top.
Focus.
Focus.
Let me slug this guy right down here.
Really? You're gonna go straight down for it?
You know, is it warm? As always on Guerrillas of Booze, finish your booze.
Jesus Christ!
Beer.
Somebody's thirsty.
It's easy to drink, Frank.
Yeah, I see that.
It is very easy to drink because it's like not drinking anything at all, really.
Yeah, it's like drinking air with flavor.
I almost heard jerking
I,
air.
I'm just gonna say. Did you say jerking air?
I said drinking.
I've never jerked the air before. That's
It's like putting a flavored condom on air
is
and
that
jerking
like
it.
is that like air humping like a dog would do?
Very easy to drink, very light.
You said I was warming up.
Oh, as it's
You're
warming
getting
up,
like
I'm getting it more. It's more bitter to me, and
Yeah.
it's like bready. I feel like
Yeah,
I've said
you're
that
right.
too many times tonight.
But it's kind of like a good call. I think Bready's
Yeah.
is kind of like a staple of IPAs, though, and like the pale, pale beer. I'll be the last one, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, Doug,
Yes.
look at that.
Doug's
That
on the-
to
he's
me
on the
seemed a
board.
little forced.
I wasn't
on the
ready.
board.
I wasn't ready. You did that on purpose.
No, he wasn't ready.
I can't force burps. I'm telling you, it just came to me. Well, you're way behind.
Here's what I
us.
can
You
tell
got plenty to make
The
up.
last sip was nothing but just bitterness attached to my mouth and throat.
Why is that? Is that because we take a bigger gulp at the end that we get?
Maybe.
What if you drink the
Because
whole
it's
beer?
not. I mean,
literally?
It's hitting
it's
the
not
sides of our
super
tongues a little
warm
bit,
in
you
here.
know?
It's not that it got warm that quick.
Yeah. Hitting the sides of our tongue a little bit.
It's funny. There's certain types of styles of beers that you're supposed to drink a certain way in terms of how long you're supposed to keep the beer in your mouth, whatever, swishing around.
You put what in your mouth?
Are you thinking of?
Beer is what we're talking
Oh,
about.
okay, beer. I'm sorry.
It
I was
actually,
focused.
we've seen cans that actually, says how you're supposed to do that, but
Are you thinking of Scotch?
no,
Where you swish it around in your
I,
glass and.
I've definitely no.
Yeah,
I think
swirl it up a
the
little bit.
English ales, right? Some of the English ales you're supposed to store at a
The
warmer
ESP?
temperature, and then the way you actually drink them is different.
Yeah. Well, the way you drink is different. So, I guess I'll start.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
3.75. I like it slightly better than green, hence the score. But it is kind of a washed out, fruity, unripened flavor, which
Yeah.
is fine when it's very cold. As it warms up, I'm not as much of a fan of it. But this is definitely a beer that I could slam. So 3.75.
Well, Doug, I'm going to have to go a little bit lower than you. I'm going with a 3.5 on this. I'm not crazy about light beers. I like something that gives you a little punch, you know what I mean? I like to taste the beer, This one, dissipated, quickly. Taste-wise.
Oh, it
the
did.
smell was amazing, though. I can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
That was totally different, but I don't know. 3.5 for me. Double Chris.
Well, Doppel Chris is a 4, but we're not going to go 4 here. For a lot of same things you just said, Frank. It just it kind of dissipates. The enjoyment is gone. It's kind of like something you enjoy, and it's only you can enjoy for a second or two, and that's it. You don't enjoy it after that. So
Like your sex life?
Oh, damn, he beat me to it.
that is not
Too fast,
That is
boy.
not true.
Get it too fast.
that is not true.
fast.
We're gonna.
Oh, look at that. Ah,
That is
So
all.
many zingers going on here, right?
That's all.
a zinger on top of a zinger.
Oh,
That's all fake news. But
It's
we'll go.
another one.
We'll go 3.25. I'm gonna go a little lower, than you,
Oh,
Frank.
damn.
Wow.
I like IPAs. It's no secret we all like IPAs. So I didn't think we are gonna rate this as high, but 3.25.
I agree.
Not much going on here. A little bit interesting, but nothing great.
Agreed.
It's fair. Can't be mad at
Yep.
that.
Then we're gonna have to take it off that pedestal.
So now,
Yeah, that
Take it off that
That's
pedestal.
off the gold medal placement.
let me get my hand ready. I'm gonna reach into Chris's sack.
Oh,
Although I already know
One
there's,
more time.
there's only one beer left, so I know what's coming out next.
Oh god,
and it is.
This is uncomfortable.
I thought Crispy sleeping.
This is
right now, so
uncomfortable.
sometimes you went in there,
Jeez, I tell you.
It's like a proctology exam.
Woo.
Yeah, this is disturbing.
I'm gonna get.
Oh boy, look
talk
at
about,
that.
Talk about fake news. I'm gonna give you the real news. Here's a little spoiler alert. This is, historically speaking, my favorite one of Treehouse's beers. So this is Haze,
Oh boy.
purple can with a dark purple logo, double IPA, 8.2% alcohol by volume, 1 pint can, brewed in Munson, Massachusetts. I don't know, unless you're brewing it in Munson and bringing it over to Charlton. I don't know.
Really? Is that what they're doing? They're doing that in the other place?
I really don't know. I mean, that's what it says.
That's
It's just
interesting.
brewed in Munson.
Or
Maybe they just
or,
never changed the cans.
Or exactly, they have a shitload of those cans left over.
Yeah, right.
They're using it
That's
up.
how they're making so much money.
Imagine
Saving
this. We are excited that you are holding Treehouse Brewing Company's hop-saturated double IPA, Haze. Haze is a soft and dangerously drinkable beer with flavors and aromas of orange juice, fresh peach, and papaya, offset by a gentle bitterness. It is intensely flavorful, yet well-balanced. Haze is the result of our uncompromising dedication to fresh, progressive, and delightful beer. We hope you enjoy it with laughter, good cheer, and in the company of those you love. Unfortunately, I'll be happy. No, I'm just
We already covered that. What's the percentage there, boy?
Well, Chris, thanks for tuning into the show. It is still 8.2%, just like I said before.
All right.
Thanks for
I
that.
missed that part. That might be
Wake up!
5 years in. Part of the problem.
Oh, that looks amazing. He poured half the fucking.
Yes, we got to change up the order here.
Yeah, no, you're definitely getting the last pour, Chris.
I'm getting the Morgan Freeman in here, I think. Well, at least you guys didn't leave me anything, so that's good news.
What do you mean to leave you?
I know.
What are you talking about?
I'm kidding.
Why are you pouring it out of the side of the can? Pour it like a human being.
You know, you got it.
Look at it. I can see it all falling in there.
So,
Perfect.
look at that.
that.
Oh, what was that? There was like a chunk.
Oh,
of
yeah.
What was that?
Let's get all that in there.
Just atrocious.
I'd hate to say this again. Put it on top.
Put it on top. Yeah.
Come on, we're featuring it.
Something
might-
tells
it
me.
might
Something
stay
tells
on
me it
top.
might stay on top. That one.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
Now I hate to be repetitive.
It looks just like the last
They
two.
all look exactly the same.
how does it look?
It did-
Three beers look exactly the same.
here's
Yeah,
the
green,
final
pride, and
pour.
purpose, and this one look the same to me.
How's it look compared to yours and yours? Yeah, this is
Oh yeah.
more of a lactose.
Yeah, yours just has like a white haze to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more of a lactose.
Somebody
look to
came in your glass, Chris. I don't know how to tell it to you.
Or
Some pretty good
same
head on
thing-
there.
or the
No?
lactose.
Same thing. It was like a white head. It dissipated fairly quickly again, though.
The lacing drags down slowly, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a better lacing. Yeah, much better lacing actually.
Yeah, I agree.
And I know Doug hates this, but it looks like a squeezed grapefruit.
It does not. What
Yes,
kind
it
of
does.
grapefruit are you having?
Have you ever had like a natural grapefruit?
Yes.
You
This.
sure?
I think we talked about it. Didn't we talk about this? Where
Not with the sugar on it, like straight up.
I'm sure my mother made me eat it with that little serrated fucking triangle spoon when I was a kid. I hate grapefruit. It's gross.
Did you have it with sugar or just regular?
I probably had it with sugar.
Yeah, so that
I don't
doesn't
know.
count. Then you don't get the true feel.
Wait, you saying you had like the reddish grapefruit?
The ruby red
I
grapefruit.
don't know. Is it different?
Yeah, because I've had
There's pink
grapefruit in
grapefruit.
the Dominican Republic that looks just like this.
There's pink grapefruit, ruby red
You know
grapefruit.
what? You probably don't even get like natural grapefruit out here. You know what? I'm not even gonna argue with this one.
All right, let's not play the Dominican.
Is this a Dominican thing?
Yeah.
This is, no, not really.
Let's not play the Dominican card.
Do they grow grapefruits in?
Yes,
Dominican
we grow
Republic?
everything, man.
No, I'm just asking.
I'm sure there's some sort of citrus you bring in.
Yeah.
Not you, but the DR.
The DR.
Yeah, smuggling oranges from Dominican
The
Republic.
DR. The doctor.
Yeah, so we got good head, very nice lacing.
It's stop me if you heard this before. It's hazy. It's a
Hazy,
orange,
cloudy.
juicy, apparently grapefruity kind of fresh squeezed color.
I got the lactosey
Yeah.
color.
It smells
The milk.
delicious though.
Not even-
Wow.
not
This could be
even-
my new like smashing my arm on the
Yeah.
mic stand. I like just sitting on this. So
You're not gonna lean on the microphone no more. You're just gonna smash the table.
yeah, I'll be playing a drum riff by the end of Slash Talk. Believe me.
You get a drum set.
Uh,
Take your balls off my
It's
drum
just
set.
like
were we talking about? Go ahead.
I'm getting like every fruit imaginable. Getting a little mango, little orange.
Were we talking papaya before we were in front of the camera or after? We were in front
I
of
don't
the
recall.
I think it was before.
It was
we were in the-
before,
I was
yeah,
saying I couldn't
yeah.
pick out a papaya
Yeah,
in the
you
world,
could-
but
yeah.
No, we're
suddenly I
talking
now
about
know
passion
what.
fruit,
No, I know what
papaya.
passion
Passion
fruit is
fruit,
now, but
yeah.
I couldn't tell you
Stone
what papaya.
fruit. What about stone fruit?
Chris, you sound like a stone fruit. You all right?
I'm good. Yeah, I can't smell anything, so I'm not. I'm not even gonna attempt to do it. I mean, I can see the lactose in here, but that's my beer.
It smells hoppier to me. It smells a little more. All right, you already sipped it, so that's good.
Yeah, it smells
Smells
as good as it tastes. I
It
think.
smells. Of course, it's delicious. I'm sure. It's juicier. I think that is peach that I'm smelling. I don't know what papaya is, so maybe not.
I don't get papaya at all.
Hoppier makes me happier.
Oh
Usually,
yes.
that's usually how it goes.
I already took a sip, so you guys can
Oh,
try to catch up on.
That's good to know. Thanks for cheating. Wow.
I mean, it's
it's not even close for me. I can tell you that.
That's
We're not even-
amazing.
We're not even rating it yet, but
Did you see that move? Did you notice that move? I have a tendency of holding the glass in weird positions, and I can't get my hand out of it. So I had to do this
Just slide it
and then
off.
slide it all over. There's
Your
like one of the,
you gotta, like,
quick hits that we did
oct-
where I'm holding the glass like this, and I'm like, "Fuck, how do I get out of this now?"
you're holding it like brass knucks. It wouldn't need any breakage here.
What do you have? Octopus fingers? You gotta wrap it up, tentacles. And let
I
it loose.
appreciate you leaving my fingers alone. I have piano player fingers, Frank.
All
they call
right,
it.
what do you get there, Doug?
I get a lot more hops in this one than I do in the other one, like that danky
Yep.
hoppiness.
Agreed.
You know, like the good, you know, the sticky
That
icky,
good?
ooey. Fruitiness for sure, like the stone fruity kind of like peach, and I feel like saying stone fruit now because we talked about it.
Yeah, stone fruit.
More-
Stone fruit.
more
little bit of
intense,
peach.
right?
I feel like we're saying more intense.
More intense overall, right? Wouldn't you say it's amplified?
I feel like it's more flavorful.
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 Flavorful. more flavorful beer than the other ones we had.
That was funny. Right on the label, it is intensely flavorful. And he wasn't reading. It was just that was actually coming from.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even know that was there.
Exactly
I read it, of course, but I forgot that it was there.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Well, I mean, then it's accurate as hell, right? I mean, right on.
Yeah, you get a lot of orange.
I feel like you get orange in everything. I don't really get orange. That's the one thing I don't.
Really, you don't get orange on that?
This says aromas of orange, right? It doesn't say anything about taste. Fresh peach papaya, but it says aromas.
You know what I feel like as we're doing this? As you and I talk about flavors and aromas, I feel like Chris is the referee. Like, I don't really get orange. Well, it says
Somebody's got to step in with you. I mean, you got to keep you accountable here.
You don't get orange?
I get dank weed. I get peach.
I get the dank
I get a little bit of, I think it's pineapple, but maybe it's papaya because I don't really know how papaya tastes. I don't know that I've ever consumed a papaya.
You never had a papaya?
I don't think so.
Really?
Not that I can recall.
Oh, you're missing out.
But it feels like pineapple-y, tropical, fruity
pineapple.
to me. So it could be the papaya. I don't know.
Very
really
tropical taste, yeah.
It's just a great. Oh, fuck me.
Frank, you are down 2.
Frank, you're
That's
out of
okay.
it.
You know what?
5.
It doesn't even matter. What's?
He's got 5 on it. I got 3 on it. by the way.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris. Don't stop.
Doug's got 1.
And no weed. It's just a great mix of fruit flavor, man. It's just a delicious beer.
There's a lot going on in a good way.
And you know what I think also is that I like that there's a distinctive bitterness to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which I like in
Yeah, the
beers. I like to
bitterness
be
is
able to
nicer.
say, okay, I'm drinking a beer.
Yeah.
Like it's fruity, but at the same time, you know it's a beer. It's like you have those bitter notes to it.
And
Yeah.
you know how you know you're enjoying it? You're sipping it. You like want to get each taste. Like this one, we just power through it like that all day.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like we did slam down that Pride and Purpose pretty quick. It's like, let's just move on. There's nothing exciting here. So, the Haze, I could just drink it all night.
Absolutely.
Although I don't like the beers to get too hot either, so I like to pound them down while they're still kind of.
No, Frank, you have a drinking problem, which is why I like to pound.
Listen, we're not going to talk about this on the air.
It warms up, and it definitely gets much more bitter, but
Mhm.
still not in a bad way.
But it's not intense. Like the flavors are intense. There's a lot going on, but the bitterness is not.
Yeah, I enjoy the bitterness though. I gotta
Me
say,
too. I love it.
you know,
Yeah.
it's a perfect blend. I
But
think,
it is
in my opinion.
danky. You're right. I mean, no
Definitely like
question.
dank weed.
Danky,
Yeah. Yep.
We need a danky beer.
Bum, bum.
When
It's
did
been a while, right? It's been a while. We haven't had a
When did
real
this
danky beer.
Yeah, like a real danky beer. Yeah,
Yeah.
like what's that?
Smell you later.
Thanksgiving.
Smell you later.
Well, Thanksgiving
Smell you
was
later.
pretty
Thanksgiving.
danky.
Yeah,
We'll
that
smell
was
you later
pretty
from
good.
Magnify.
Smell you
Here we
later.
go.
There you
We
go.
are incapable of getting through any kind of
yeah,
recording
Magnify.
without talking about Magnify.
When did this become not my favorite, but right up near the top for Treehouse beers?
Mm-hmm.
It just snuck up on me. It's so good.
Frank again finishes before everybody else.
Listen,
like,
when
in
you have a
proper
good
fall.
beer, you got to drink it while it's good.
I don't even want to finish. I mean, I just want to keep drinking it, but not finish it if that's possible.
The good thing is that Doug has a backlog. He
Once
has a
again-
shitload of those.
Chris is the last one to finish a beer. I don't have a
Gio.
shitload. I got like 2 more of them. I don't have a shitload of them.
I wanted to be the last one, to be honest with you, that time.
I took a round of Treehouse beers to my job, and I indoctrinated a new person. So
Oh, there you go.
I ruined his life.
Is he going to be a mule, future beer mule?
No. He's
Okay.
not. He's not traveling to get beers,
All
but
Not yet.
he went from like, I forget what beer he said he was into.
Was he drinking
I'm
high?
But I'm
sure
like,
it's
hang on.
Like a Bud Light or
Yeah.
No,
Miller Lite.
he had a little bit better taste than that. But I'm like, hang on, let me
Stella.
bring you around to beers and see what happens. He was nice enough to repay me though with some beers from Cape May, which we had at,
Okay.
at the
yeah,
beach
yeah.
house.
Nice,
So
nice. That was him, huh?
he hooked it up. So
Nice. Those growler, the
we've
what
ruined
do
his
you have,
life
sours,
though,
huh?
because now he's like, yo. He liked actually Eureka of one of the beers that I gave him. He
Really?
loved these.
Interesting.
Yo, that Eureka was banging.
It's like getting somebody
Really?
addicted
Okay.
to somebody addicted to drugs almost. It's like the same feeling. Like
You know what I noticed? Treehouse. Yeah, Eureka. I'm all right. Now when they do pours, they're doing things with pours. Like, so the only reason I'm bringing it up is that I saw that they do like a Eureka through a like pineapple or something. Anyway, they pour it through like a rando, like you
Yeah.
they have the rando.
Mhm.
So that I could see Eureka with that. I'm sure that's good.
That was pretty close.
This dude is
going
gonna knock himself out.
He's gonna go
it's,
through the
be- it's,
fucking.
it's better not.
He's gonna go
losing.
through the green screen.
I got you. That was a photo finish, but I got you.
Yeah.
So who wants to rate it? You want to rate it? I can't turn my head in like.
Who rated
Who was
first
the rate-
last time?
I'll rate
You
this
rated
one first.
You go first. We'll go down the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, Frank can go first.
All right.
I give this a solid 4.5.
Chris.
Very good. Definitely one of the best beers that we've had tonight, and a very enjoyable beer that I've always liked.
I mean, for all the same things I already said, it's very intense. in a good way. A lot of flavors. It just hits you in a good way. Bitterness at the end, like Doug said, but I got to go 4.75. I mean, this is pretty close to a 5 for me. I got to be honest.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 5. It's a 5 for me.
Wow.
It's my favorite Treehouse beer. Until somebody can prove me wrong or change my mind, it is my favorite Treehouse beer.
Yeah, you even put it over Julius?
Now, well, hold on a minute. What about King? What about King?
You know,
Julius?
I've never had King Julius, so I can't speak to King Julius. Here,
can't.
you know, it's an interesting thing you say about Julius because I actually haven't had a Julius in a long time.
I was kind of disappointed that we couldn't.
It's
get
been a
a
long
Julius.
time.
Yeah,
so
I was too a little bit. I'm not.
In my current mindset, I would say that I like Haze better than Julius, but I'd have to have a Julius. I mean, we have an alter ego floating around here somewhere, which is essentially kind of like a Julius,
but stronger.
Yeah,
right. So
I like Julius a little better than Alter Ego.
Right now, as we sit here right now, Haze is my favorite beer that they make.
Wow.
Okay.
So
Respectable.
So it's a 5 for me.
So we can stay right where it is.
No, not necessarily. Oh yeah, well I guess we would rate now, right? Because the bad beer of the night's not going to sit there. So for right now, I'll move it over. Oh my god, I'm so big, but I can't reach. So now we move on to the boring part where we try to rate what we thought was our favorite beer of the night.
We're gonna do a 4th place finisher off to the side. Is that we're gonna do that one?
Nah, we just leave it.
All right.
So we used to have to hold up each can, so this is refreshing that we have a little desk here.
Right?
I'm determined to knock this mic out.
I know.
Of the way.
Either you're gonna knock my
Boom.
teeth. You're gonna knock my teeth out or knock the mic over one.
Great. If this sad ass little mic knocks your teeth out, you got a bigger problem than me hitting your mic.
Yeah.
Fluoride issues.
So we started the night with Sap, which I guess I should hold them up again. Right? So we started the night with Sap. It's our India Pale Ale, 7% alcohol by volume. It's the one that we thought was a little bit more piney than all the others. Slide right into Green, 7.5% alcohol by volume, IPA. IPA, double IPA.
Regular IPA. The double is the.
It's a regular IPA.
It's just embarrassing that I have
That's
to look at
regular.
it. I should know that.
That's regular.
Anyway, so IPA. Then we jumped on over to the Pride and Purpose America Pale Ale, 5.1% alcohol by volume.
Pretty much a session, though, in our opinion.
Yeah.
Listen, anything's a session if you try hard enough.
Sure.
And then we finished up with our main round of beers here with the double IPA Haze, 8.2%
Dippa.
alcohol by volume.
That's your
Dippa.
Dippa. The big Dippa.
I mean, we can start on this end because for me, Haze is the winner. For me, Haze is my favorite beer, so that's my pick. It's not even close. I mean, it's a little bit close. My biggest surprise is that I liked Green more than I remember, but Haze is still the big winner.
It's not close for me. It's my winner. Clear cut.
I mean, going by ratings, obviously we're definitely going with Haze.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big discrepancy between 1 and 2 for me.
It's just like the right blend of bitterness, fruit flavors, smell. Everything just goes.
Yeah.
It collaborates.
Yep.
Very great
Perfect.
together.
Perfect collaboration. You're right.
It's really good.
Haze double IPA, 8.2% alcohol by volume, 1 pint can is our big winner of the night. Our first one for season 2. Haze is the winner.
Right on the gold medal stand. Look at that.
And to be honest,
The Olympiad.
they're all winners. Treehouse.
Yeah, there's no bad. I mean,
No.
listen.
Look.
Ultimately, when we say, "Oh, I don't really like this one, I don't like that," listen. Every beer that's here, I like better than most other beers I've ever had in my life. So we just grade them on a little bit more of an intense curve. But you know what makes a good beer too is magnify. No, I'm just kidding.
The second and third, see if we're going right down the line with it, second and third will be much harder for me to judge.
I would actually rate them kind of as they are here. So for me personally, actually that's not true. No, that is true. I would go Haze, Pride and Purpose, Sap, Green.
You would go Pride and Purpose number 2?
I really like Pride and Purpose.
Really?
I like Pride and Purpose cold.
This is an interesting experiment. All right, so where would you go with this, Frank? 1
Haze,
through 4.
Green, Sap, Pride and Purpose.
Haze, Green, Sap.
That's exactly how I go too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's exactly.
I like Pride and Purpose cold. I really do because it's just something you can smash. You
Yeah,
can
but
slam it away.
that's what you're going by like if you want like a intense flavor full beer, then you actually go with the Haze.
Right.
If you want something you can knock back over and over, Pride and Joy, I guess.
Barbecue beer.
Pride
Barbecue
and Joy.
beer.
Pride and Joy.
Yeah.
Pride and Purpose.
Who makes that beer?
Unfortunately, like knocking back these beers are very pricey. It's not like getting a case of Miller Lite or
Yeah, it's not the cheapest beer that you're going to slam at the barbecue.
Right.
Although in today's world of Treehouse, you can get like 24 cans of it though. So it's not like the old days where you walk out with 6.
Yeah,
of
no,
them,
it was
so.
6 coming. Yeah, you're right. Good point.
If you guys ever get a chance to go out, this facility is unbelievable. Treehouse's new facility, it's like a metropolis. It's unbelievable.
Insane.
The facility in Charlton is amazing, and it's
Oh.
only gonna get more amazing. They're making it. It's gonna be like it's gonna be like a resort basically.
yeah,
There are
pretty
trails, like hiking trails, and they're adding more space to it. It's gonna be beautiful, but based on the
incredible.
specs that I saw.
And that being said, it's not the biggest brewery, obviously, because I think like the one place that I like, now that we're talking like huge facility, I'm thinking about like. Remember when we went to Two Roads, overlooking from like glass pane?
Yeah, that place is
That's
gigantic. Like 2
they
floors.
have a lot of vats.
Connecticut, right?
A huge amount of vats there, and they make a shitload of beer.
You know, I'm not a huge fan of most of their beers though, but the
No, I
facility
agree.
is a nice
The
facility.
facility's nice.
Yeah.
They had a couple good beers, but
The stuff that we got, the stuff that you could get at the brewery, in my opinion, is better than like the shelfy stuff that you find from Two Roads. Though Two Roads
Absolutely.
makes good beer for
yeah,
sure,
absolutely.
but a lot of the shelf stuff is just kind of like, it's okay.
It's always available, so it's not.
Yeah, right.
If you're gonna do the Treehouse trip, hit Trillium too. That's right
Well,
there.
man,
You got to hit Trillium. I mean,
no-
that's the standard trip, right? Treehouse,
Right.
Trillium, and BT's Smokehouse or Steakhouse.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we decided to go to some broke dick Rodizio. But
Some-
we'll
We're
talk.
not-
We'll talk more about
Yeah,
that.
we're not gonna
Didn't
get
agree
into
We'll
with
talk
that.
about that on the podcast. So
My
since
favorite
clearly
part of the
Frank
night.
and Chris, are trying to delay the inevitable, it's time to move on to the inevitable. Which everybody's complaining but I don't think it's going to be that bad tonight. It's bad beer of the nighttime.
Well, I
It's
don't know.
bad beer of the nighttime. But
What do you have in store for us, Doug?
the bad beer of the night is still a Treehouse beer.
Oh,
So it's even more important at this point to remember that it's not that the brewery brewed a bad beer.
Right.
The process is not bad. It's not a bad brewery. It's just a beer that's been stored too long
Yeah.
in the warmth, in the sunlight, under a pallet
Yeah.
somewhere.
Actually, we did that
Yeah.
last season.
Get out of
with
my head
beer.
again,
Come on.
Chris.
Sorry.
So with that said, the last reach into Chris's sack.
Oh, jeez. Please stop. It's getting weird.
No, it's just the right amount of weird. We have Very Hazy.
oh boy,
So it's fitting that we went with Haze as our
Yeah,
favorite,
yeah.
and we didn't plan that. I swear to God.
doubling up.
Yeah.
And then now we're moving on to Very Hazy.
He didn't look. He just put his hand right in.
Here's a little inside baseball. I had this like 2 years ago, and it was easily my favorite beer I've ever had in my entire life. So I'm very interested to see what happens here.
Would you rate it higher than Haze, regular Haze?
Yeah, it's like a 6.
Wow.
Interesting.
American Double IPA, 1 pint, 8.6% alcohol by volume. It's got the old school sticker on it. Here's the thing, though. So on the bottom of the can, it's going to tell you "Good night, bad morning," which I think is pretty apropos to what is happening right here in front of you on camera. This is a August of 2016. Very hazy.
Wonderful.
As a matter of fact, it is August 19th of 2016, so it is slightly more than 2 years old.
So a little education. So an IPA usually lasts, 3 to 4 months? Doug?
No, I think 2 years is good.
It's usually 3 to 4
should be all right at
months.
2 years.
What are you talking about?
And the obvious question that I think some people are saying is, how the fuck does you have a Very Hazy for 2 years? And my answer to that would be, leave me alone.
Right.
It would not last in my
If you
fridge
saw how many
ever.
beer refrigerators were in this
Yeah,
household,
his
you would-
stock
you
is
would
insane.
get it.
I have been sitting on this beer forever. I'm so excited to get into this 2 years later. This is going to be a nightmare. I can feel it already.
But are you excited?
And actually, here's another little inside baseball. This can was not cold the entire time.
Oh,
You just put it in the fridge
Great.
like last week, this week.
Let me ask
Wednesday?
you a question.
This can's been cold for about
Will
3 weeks.
will we live through this segment? Is that
Yeah.
a fair question? Okay, all right. So we have to go to the hospital.
It's all for the gram, baby.
Oh,
And
man,
YouTube.
I tell you.
And Twitter.
We got to figure the pour
And
situation
podcasts.
out, by the way.
How does this
Who poured
smell?
It smells like rotten soup.
Oh,
I'm
that's
just kidding.
fucking
Hey,
amazing.
Who gets the last pour in this?
Yeah, no,
situation?
I got the
Listen,
last pour last time.
That's you, Doug.
Swear to God.
It's actually your turn, sir.
It's your fault for
No.
not. It's
No,
your
I'm
fault.
just gonna,
Stop,
I'm gonna shallow pour, and then I'll take the last pour.
All right. What's your fault for not storing it right? So you should get the last pour.
Hey, shut up. I stored it fine.
I think it,
for part of
is
it.
always gonna fall on Doug. You had
Look
all
at
of
that
it.
pour, you
Jesus
beer
Christ!
hog.
You got half a glass, you dick.
Not that I want it. No, go right up to the lettering, bottom of the lettering.
He's like in the middle of the lettering.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, was that a worm?
Wait,
It looked like a Jello, like one of those.
what just?
crawlers.
It's like something just dove into the
There's
pool.
something, like something jumped into my glass. Did you see that?
Listen, how about you just take the whole glass? Or,
No,
okay.
hold on. I'll take it.
Are these the strands
Oh, my
that I heard
God.
are lethal in a beer? If you see, if it has
Yeah,
strands.
if there's
don't-
strands, they're going to be a problem.
Now, I think it's fair to say, or scary to say, it's still actually Oh my God!
Color
What was
You
that?
saw that swirly lava lamp thing
know
that
what the
just happened
crazy-
at the end there?
Boy, I lucked out. I'll tell you that much. I'm just gonna cover my beer so nobody tries to pour it in there.
Still got a decent amount of head on this.
You know the interesting thing, maybe mine more than both of yours, the coloring is fairly normal.
Yeah, it looks
I
pretty
was just
good.
gonna say it didn't pour bad. It poured like
Yeah.
a normal, like a normal
Except for
Treehouse
that,
beer.
that,
the
that, that
white
thing
head.
that dropped into my glasses. I don't have no idea what the fuck that was.
It was like one of those.
Oh, boy.
Remember those creepy crawler candies? Those like what? You know what I'm talking about? That's what it looked like.
Like a what?
Like a creepy crawler.
Creepy crawler. Is that what jumped
Is that
in
a
there?
candy? I
Yeah.
don't even know what that is.
Those worms with the Sour Patch worms.
Oh,
looked like a
yes,
Sour
yeah,
Patch
yeah, yeah.
worm.
Like everybody put them in there when they would make those dirt cakes and shit,
Right,
right? You
right,
put 'em
right.
in.
Or people gave them you don't want.
Chris.
If you have kids, you don't want them.
I wish to God that Chris could smell.
I was gonna say that. I was like, you are by far the
wanna
luckiest person in this table right now.
see where my hand is, by the way.
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a Treehouse beer. I don't think you're in any danger of getting it dumped. But holy Christ, it smells exactly like a 2-year-old IPA.
Yeah.
The
You know,
smell.
it's very distinctive. Like we've had enough bad beers that we can tell what the fuck it's not supposed
Does
to
it
smell
smell
like
like
anymore.
Does it smell like a dumpster?
It smells like a dumpster fire.
It's like a gym sock
Oh, that's great.
run through.
Yeah, it smells
some
like
expired fruits.
It smells like a urinal cake. It smells like rotten fruit.
Yeah.
Urinal cake. That's the funniest thing.
Like a
Urinal
shit salad. I
It
don't,
smells like
cake. Shit salad.
it smells like a little bit of like rotten malt put on some like stale bread.
yeah.
I don't think I want to drink this actually.
Boy,
I thought it was funny at the
It's kind of
time,
scary. Yeah.
but now that the realization of what's happening is in front of me, I mean, it
Now,
pours. It
pours
pours great.
great.
It looks great.
Yeah. It looks
the head
deli-
was
yeah,
great,
Like it looks delicious right now.
but
Pour-
it smells atrocious.
pours great till the worm came out.
Yeah, I guess it could be worse. I could have Frank's glass where like an
Yeah.
entire colony of something fell into the
Yeah.
glass.
Whatever that was. Do I have to finish this, by the way?
Yeah, the whole
Of
thing.
course I do. I'm gonna take the first. Oh, maybe I won't take the first sip.
I think he just wants to get it over with. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
That was a decent reaction. Hold on.
You know, you ever see on the news where the parasites are growing in people's body and they grow to 2 feet long? You don't know. That's what it's gonna happen to you.
Are you watching about centipede? What is that?
No, it's
All right.
it's that parasite thing. It's just weird.
Well, Doug is still alive, so that's a good sign.
Here's what I can tell. Well, it's going to take a little while for parasites to take hold. Here's what I can tell you.
Ooh,
It tastes like
ooh, what is that?
a little bit of rotten fruit.
Yeah.
It's not as like we've had a lot of expired
It
IPAs
tastes
at this point.
winey,
It
Like
does
wine.
taste like a little whiny,
like a sour wine.
like
What do they call it? Prison wine?
hooch.
What?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, no,
No,
no. That
no,
was,
no, like little-
Puno? No, what the hell do they call it? They put all the rotten fruits in the bag and suck it out of a Ziploc bag with a straw.
yeah,
Some with a P.
Yeah. Good call. Good
Pun-
call.
Purno?
I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because that would be exactly.
You know
what
what's
it
coming to
tastes
my head is mofongo, and I know that's not
Mofongo.
it. I know it's not mofongo. It's
Speaking
not.
of food,
Which
Damn. You know what? I had an opportunity to do something about
like.
this
I saw you.
While he went for his
I
glass.
saw you fidgeting.
for
by
his
the way.
phone, not his glasses.
I saw
phone.
you fidgeting.
Man, I didn't want to do it.
Kind of like
a.
Man.
kind of like a Trillium, huh?
This
This is the first time I've ever had a Treehouse beer in my glass where
And
I'm
it's
like,
like,
man,
fuck,
I
this
don't want to
sucks.
get this second sip.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you want to keep it
Did
covered.
you even
so you
take
don't-
one yet? Did you take a sip?
yeah,
Oh, you did.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. No,
okay.
I agree. It's sour fruit. It's bad fruit.
No, it's
rotten
not
fruit.
sour.
No,
It's like
bad,
rotten.
rotten.
You
Yeah,
know what?
I agree.
You know what it tastes like actually, and like a rotten grapefruit. Sorry to tell you.
That's gonna make it more.
I'm begging you to stop with the fucking grapefruit. Like, leave me alone with the grapefruit, please. Oh, God. This is not the best Treehouse I've ever had.
Yes.
Well, when you store it incorrectly for 2 years, how could you like it?
I didn't. Well, yeah, I
Maybe
guess it
not
was
you,
incorrect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what's scary though, and I gotta point this out. Like I'm thinking about, I'm still seeing some beers when Doug made his trip out to get some heady toppers and
Alchemist.
Same trip.
same trip.
Same trip.
Oh, there it goes.
2 years ago. Over 2 years ago.
But here's the difference. Those have been
Time
sitting
goes far.
outside the fridge.
So was
forever.
this. It was in the same
Oh
container.
my fucking goodness.
No.
Yeah, I remember having that shit for the first time. I was like, "Holy shit, Doug, this is fucking delicious."
Yeah, were you here? You guys were here, right?
Yeah.
When I brought the beers back originally?
Yeah, we both like Focal Banger better than Heady Topper. Did we had Very Hazy that night too?
And I'm going to let you in on a little bit more of an inside pro tip. Those Focal Bangers and Heady Toppers, you'll be seeing them on the show.
Oh fucking A.
They are still warm. They're actually sitting right over there on that
Great.
shelf.
That's what I'm saying.
Awesome.
Every time I walk into the basement, I look at him like,
Yeah, that's
"This
a-
motherfucker."
Dude, I bought like a million. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That is a beer crime, though, just so you know. The beers are that good, you got to store them. I don't know.
yeah. Listen,
This reminds me a little bit of like the very first what was the beer you dropped on the ground and put your finger in?
Me?
Oh,
God,
shit.
that was
Like the hopping frog something?
No.
Wasn't that the Walking Dead beer? That Walking
No.
Dead?
No, I think it was a hopping
Breaking
frog.
Bad.
Breaking Bad.
No,
I was thinking
Breaking
TV
Bud.
show.
Breaking Bud.
Yeah,
Breaking Bud. That's
yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like a rotten version of Breaking Bud.
Yeah.
Good call.
Although, see, that beer was actually fresh.
Well, his
It
tastes a
tastes
little
like
more like malty and asphalty.
Frank,
Right off the fucking
listen, if you
parking lot.
if you taste it off the parking deck in Atlantic City, it's going in the Untapped
Listen,
app.
I'm surprised you're
I
in a
needed
fucking
to-
hospital right now.
I needed to get it in the Untapped app. That's all it takes.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
sucking beer off of an asphalt parking lot
Right.
in Atlantic City where people
Right.
have been shitting and pissing probably.
And he
Yeah.
And you're
fucking
worried about
rated it.
strings being in the beer?
Yeah, you're probably right.
And he rated it, by the way. He logged that shit.
Of course, and he gave it a 4, I'm sure.
Well, I feel like I should be able to after doing that. I mean, putting my life at risk, literally. But
I
you're not
finished.
gonna let me get your glass, are you?
nah,
Frank is good too.
I finished that shit.
we're
and
just locked up.
You want to slam it back and get the fuck out of here then?
I don't want to slam. But do you want to slam back?
you
Yeah,
gotta
because I
get
feel
that.
like it's gonna make me throw up. Actually,
it's gonna warm up
Let's do
more.
it.
And
Let's do it.
that's true. You wanna hold it in your hand and warm it up and see what we can get out of it?
No, I'm gonna hold my hand over it and tap your glass and chug it. Here.
it's so
No, let's
weird.
warm them up a little bit. Let's just warm them up and see what we can get.
Great. Wonderful.
See what flavors we can get out of them.
Oh, that's more exciting. This is great. What
Does
a good
Does this
experiment.
look weird? This looks like we're churning butter.
You
in
guys
there.
are like, yeah. What the fuck are you
What a
guys
great
doing?
experiment. Oh, I'm down. Here, let's get this over with.
I gotta find maybe a nice warm focal banger is the way to start Slash Talk.
Ooh. All right, knock that back, sir.
This is gonna be
Down
Girls
in
and
one.
booze. Finish your booze.
finish your booze.
Oh, God bless America.
Oh God. Is this real life? Is this real life?
Oh.
You're not gonna throw up, are you?
No, I just hiccups or something.
There you go.
Like rotten fruit hiccups.
I might use it.
Like I just drank a big bag of pernil. I know that's not the word. I can't think of the word.
That might be the guy in prison's name. Pernil.
So-
Did you
What
eat
you trying to
Spanish?
say?
Did you
Pernil
eat
Whitaker.
some Spanish food today? Yeah.
I eat
Pernil,
Spanish food.
mofongo.
Dude, I work with so many people. It's Spanish food all the time, and I love Spanish food. I do.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that, man.
What
Except for
did I
that
have? I just
Rodizio
had
one
something-
too. You don't like that too
That
much.
doesn't count. It's Brazilian,
I know.
and it was like rotten. It
Nah,
wasn't rotten.
It
I
was
was just
fucking
feeling.
delicious.
It just fucked me
Yeah.
up. I don't know what
It
anybody
might
else
have been the
is
You and
various
your weak ass stomach.
beef jerky.
Can you do me a favor though? Can we get that fucking beer off the pedestal right now?
Yes.
That is a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
disgusting look up
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Let's put the right. beer.
Unfortunately, on any other circumstance, it would look good up there.
No, but here's the question though: if that was a fresh beer, that might be on the pedestal.
It
Very
might be on the
hazy,
pedestal.
fresh is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a shitty fucking beer. Thanks, Doug, for participating. In,
Well, it is bad beer of the night, Frank. It's not hey delicious beer of the night. We don't do delicious beer of the night, guy.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Look, I feel like I'm Chris. I'm fighting my own mic. So that's it.
Yeah, man.
Is that it?
Wrap it up.
Guerrillas of Booze TV Season 2, Episode 1 in the bag. So what we're going to do is we'll wrap this up. We're going to we'll record a podcast, and we'll look at the Trillium side of things. Get that whole, I don't know why we did a whole Massachusetts thing, because we're in Jersey. So we should have done Magnify
Yeah.
and like some other Jersey brewery. But
Yeah.
listen, we had the beers. Everybody likes to talk about Treehouse and Trillium. So this will be the pandering part where we'll wrap up. So first things first, I want to give a huge, huge thank you to our friend, our brother, our family, our blood, Sounds by Moon, which is Frank's cousin,
Yep.
who is this kid along with his brother. They're like prodigies in the music world. I'm telling you right now, get on the train before it leaves the station. Sounds by Moon is making incredible beats, so I want to thank him for the new intro, music anyway. We also have a little piece of his music for the podcast as well. So this kid is making some incredible beats out
Yeah,
there.
man. That's dope.
His brother is setting the bachata scene on fire.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
fire.
Yeah, he's all over the place now. He's getting a lot of streams and a lot of recognition out there. It's pretty cool. Cool
Yeah.
stuff.
And their other brother looks like The Weeknd, so he's got
Yeah,
the hairstyle of The Weeknd. I said that to Ed. I texted Ed. I'm like, yo, your brothers are killing it in the music scene, and you look like The Weeknd, so I guess you guys are all in there.
Taller Dominican.
Ed said he's got good music skills too, though.
Yeah, he does. He just doesn't. He's not into it anymore. He doesn't
Yeah.
have the time for it.
Shout to Ed. Ed will be one of the people sitting in with us. I can
For
assure you of that.
sure.
Oh, man. Yeah.
We gotta get him on here for sure.
So, social media
Yeah.
world, we're everywhere. You can find us everywhere. At Guerrillas of Booze on Instagram, at Booze Gorillas on Twitter, Guerrillas of Booze on Facebook. Also on Instagram, if you're into dogs, that kind of thing, we have the Gorilla Booze Hounds. Somehow,
I jumped the gun a bit.
Somehow the Guerrillas of Booze thing is just, it's morphed into like a whole multimedia world. So more important than all the Instagram accounts. No, not more important, because you got Fitness Empire on Instagram too. Follow Fitness Empire if you want, gym updates. If you want to see this dude continue to shrink away into nothingness as he continues to prepare to compete.
Get on the stage right now.
Well, this helps me rebuild a little bit in a bad way. That's all right.
WGOB Network. Follow WGOB Network on YouTube if you like the video portion of our world. That's GoB-TV, which is the main show. Slosh Talk, which is our kind of after show, our overpour type of show where we talk about whatever and just continue to drink a little bit of beer and just bullshit and try to clean up the main show by putting it all on its own show. We also have our quick hits and our one shots, all on WGOB Network on the YouTube show.
Oh, Chris, another one.
Oh,
man.
I think I was Doug that
No,
time.
it could have been.
No?
But you're still ahead, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start talking quicker. Just in case you but even more so than that, go find the WGOV Network on iTunes, on Stitcher Radio, on Google Play, on SoundCloud. Like us, subscribe to us. I hate to pander like this, but like us, subscribe to us. Give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. There's a few episodes of the Booze Tutor up on that channel now. Obviously, GoB Radio will be up there. A couple other shows coming along. We've been talking about doing what we're going to call Frank Reviews, where we force Frank to sit through pro wrestling that he hates, and then like kind of review it real quick, because that'll be fun. Also, we were going to have a guy that's into like a local band who's blown up on the scene, sitting in with us one time. We're talking a little bit about maybe him sitting in and kind of leading him a show where it's kind of beers and bands. So we're working on that. So we're gonna have a million different shows between the YouTube channel and the podcast channel.
Variety's good.
Yeah.
Man.
It's all variety. It's all content. It's good. It's a good time.
Keep it fun.
So like us, follow us, subscribe to us, talk about us, repost us, do the whole thing.
Jip.
I almost gave you an announcer voice like follow the GoB Network.
GoB.
Anything? Anybody? Anything? Are we done?
I think
Good?
you covered
Wrap
all.
it up, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Like we always say, no matter what's going on in life, no matter what you're doing, find some time to get that medicine in you. And we're out.
Peace.
Peace.